Are ghost followers on Instagram a real thing, and are they worth removing, or are they a scam altogether? Recently, I got this comment on my channel.
It is a very bad idea to remove followers, because some followers may engage with your content using share or save actions or even additional story actions, and you can't find out who they are because you can't see a number of these actions. So many people don't like or comment but do save or share. Removing your followers based on likes and comments is a blind idea.
And the thing is, this isn't the only critique that I've heard recently about removing ghost followers on Instagram.
There is no reason you should ever remove a follower. The reason why they say this is because you can fix your engagement percentage. This is a stat that doesn't matter to any of you, okay? This is a stat that matters to influencers only, and it's only because brands, when they're considering which influencers to work with, will look at an account's engagement percentage as a whole. If you are a business that doesn't sell advertising on your page and you're just a company, there's literally no one that will ever analyze what your engagement percentage is besides yourself. So you're removing people because they didn't engage with you. You're removing people who might buy something just because you're like, now I fixed my vanity metric that only I'm looking at.
So with all of that, you guys are probably wondering, what's the truth? Is removing ghost followers really just a bullcrap, inaccurate process that's actually going to slow down your growth? Or is it still something real and valid that you should continue to do? Well, let's get into it. Now, the argument that Derek Videll is making is basically that your engagement rate is really just a vanity metric that only you and your potential advertisers are ever going to look at. That's the only two parties interested in what your engagement rate is. Now, this is partially true, but mostly false, and I'll explain why. Instagram does look at your engagement rate to determine how far they're going to push your content out there. And just generally speaking, if you get more engagement, you get more likes, comments, shares on a post, Instagram is going to push it further on their Explore page and on their Reels page. But the 1 ounce of truth in what Derek Videll says in his full video is that Instagram does this on a post-by-post basis and not based on your page's overall engagement rate. So in other words, if you have one post that gets great engagement, that post has the potential to go viral, whereas if you have another post that gets virtually no engagement, it's not going to go viral and it's not going to go that far in the algorithm. So the point that Derek seems to be making in his video is that you shouldn't worry about your page's overall engagement rate. Instead, you should focus on your engagement rate on a post-by-post basis, because all you need for a post to go viral is that one post to get a lot of engagement. But the argument that I'm making, and the reason that I think this is false, mostly, is because you should focus on raising that ground level. Your engagement rate on your page is really just your average engagement rate between all of your posts. If you can raise that ground level, now you're decreasing the jump that you need to do to get your post picked up by the algorithm in a big way. If you raise that ground level, it's kind of like that idea, a rising tide raises all boats, right? You can help all of your content to get more reach by just focusing on your page's overall engagement rate. So yeah, I guess you could take the Derek Videll approach of trying to focus on a post-by-post basis. How am I going to take this piece of content and get more engagement on it so that it goes further in the algorithm? But the question that I would have of you guys is, if you've got these inactive ghost followers anyways on your page, and they're not interested, they're not engaging with any of your content already, why wouldn't you remove them if it meant that all of your content, even your worst content, would start to perform significantly better? It would kind of raise that floor. And the thing is, I actually have the data to back this up and prove this. Back when I was trying to grow my Trap Theory 101 page to 10,000 followers, I remember there's about a 2 or 3 week period where my reach was going straight down, and I was getting less and less followers each day than ever. And I remember hearing online that if you remove your ghost followers, that's something that could help you if you had a reach drop to get more reach and ultimately more followers. So that's exactly what I did. I removed a bunch of ghost followers, and you can see how immediately after removing those ghost followers, my reach starts to trend back upwards and actually to a new peak that I had never seen before. So I guess what I would say to you guys is this is conclusive data from my own page, from something that I've done and that I've seen. And then one of the questions that Derek more or less asks in his video is, if this is how you calculate your engagement rate, why is everybody so infatuated with reducing this bottom number, trying to decrease the ghost followers off of that? Why is nobody focused on trying to get more likes and comments with producing better content? And ultimately, that is something that you should focus on, is making better content. But that's something that's going to take a while. It's going to take a lot of resources to do properly. When you're talking about reducing ghost followers, that's something that you can take action on right now. And with that example that I gave you of where my reach was going down, I removed ghost followers and skyrocketed back up to a new peak. I didn't change my content at all. The only change that I made was reducing some ghost followers. So once again, you can see how reducing ghost followers is one of the most powerful things in ultimately getting more engagement and more reach. And the example that I've shown you in this video is just one of many examples that I could show you of where times I've reduced my ghost followers, I see record reach and ultimately record follower growth. And I know it sounds counterintuitive. Why would I remove my followers if I'm trying to grow my followers? That makes no sense. But think of it as sort of like an investment into your future. You're doing without today so that you can have more tomorrow. You're basically setting the stage to open those floodgates of growth in the future. But what about the comment that I got at the beginning of the video? If saves and shares are not something that Instagram tracks, how can I be sure that when I'm identifying a ghost follower, it's truly a ghost follower and not just somebody who only saves and or shares my posts? The answer is you can't fully determine that. Ultimately, the best that you can do when you're removing ghost followers is to pick a really good ghost follower identification service and then to use your best discretion with that. So to give you an example of using your best discretion, I run a modern rap page. Who listens to more modern music and rap? Probably young people, right? Now, if I use a ghost follower identification service and it identifies a 93-year-old Russian grandmother as being a ghost follower on my page, and her entire bio is written in Russian, my page is in English, what do we think the chances are that she's an avid, active follower of my page, that she's somebody that's really engaged? Pretty low, right? She speaks a different language. She's 93. She doesn't fit my demographic. And she's from Russia. We're talking about United States rap, right? So you need to use context clues like that when determining if you really have a ghost follower that you're trying to remove. No ghost follower identification service is going to be perfect and to the point. You're also going to have to apply a little bit of discretion and your own thought before you remove somebody. Because to be completely honest with you, removing ghost followers is not an exact science. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna remove a real follower at some point. But as long as you're using a good ghost follower identification service and you're using your own best discretion and logic, you're gonna remove mostly ghost followers and it's gonna help your growth in the long term. And I have no problem with admitting if I'm wrong here. If Derek Videll or anybody else wants to tell me why I'm wrong or that they've seen something completely different than what I've seen with my own data, then I'm completely open to that. I don't have a stake in this race. I don't run any companies around ghost followers or anything like that. I'm just trying to share with the internet and with you guys what's really worked for me and what the truth is.
So seriously guys, thank you for watching this video. Big shouts out to Derek Videll. Even though I might disagree with this particular video, I just want to say that he's got a lot of great content on his channel around Instagram growth. So you guys should definitely check him out. But anyways guys, God bless. Have a good one, man.